This episode is sponsored by Supreme of the UK. Click the link in the description and support the broadcast.
CFR Network, CFR News, Shalom Balance Paradise. I got a legend in the lab with me. Sibling, introduce yourself, man.
Man, Twisted Black out of Fort Worth, Texas, man, over in the States, man. Glad to be with you, buddy.
Definite, man. As I say, I got a legend with me, man. Legend in the lab. We're gonna do a little quick part one, get into the mind of the sibling, the life and times of Twisted Black, Fort Worth representative, D-Town, raised, well, born, I should say. You know what I mean?
Right. Detroit, the big D.
The big D. Yes.
Born
Not that.
Detroit. Really from Fort Worth, Texas. Fort Worth online.
Most definite, man. Most definite. Firstly, as I said offline, honors and respects. Thank you for the work you've been putting in reference this artwork, which is unfortunately changing quite dramatically. But you know, you help. You were part, as I say to a lot of the mans that coming here. You were part of the soundtrack to my youth coming up in this year. You know what I mean? Twisted Black got bumped to hella in my neck of the woods. You know what I mean?
That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Definite, man. Definite. It's just you know, and I will like to highlight this here. The amount of talent, that resides, and I've had the opportunity to not only listen to as a youth, but have conversations with, interview and talk offline and stuff. And I see the people who are in the positions they are. I'm like, yeah, of course those guys have got talent, but it's kind of like, like if a Twisted Black was at a level where Jay-Z is at now, like we're talking a whole type of different language of the game. You know, if we had a big talk in that position, you know what I mean?
Exactly, man. See, the thing about us is we come from when it was art. So it would be a higher bar. Not to say that the new music is not good. You know, hey, it's good, you know. But, we come from stories.
Yes.
Talent, substance. You know what I mean? So that was our thing. You know, you had to be able to spit. You couldn't just put on a rapper costume and have some jewelry and have a little money and get in. You know, it was like, what can you say?
Yes. How can you move me? Tell me the stories. Give me a soundtrack which was made in 92, which I can play right here now in the Gregorian year 2023. We can put on multiple of your tracks, sibling, and it's still slapping today. And I'm just talking about just the vocals. I'm talking about the production value. Timeless music, you know what I mean? There was like, I don't know, like
all the way to the mix, to the sound quality, to everything, the way we put skits together and everything.
Oh shit, the skits. the dying art form of the skit, sibling. Come on.
Yep. Yeah, man.
So what inspired you to spit, to rap? Obviously it was a new genre of sorts and a culture at that point. But obviously all the way down there where you're at, you know, like what was the drive? Actually, saying that, before you even answer that question, before you started to rap, who was you listening to?
Tupac. Really, Tupac was my push to do it. But prior to that, you know, you didn't have much of a choice. Everything was coming out of New York. So anything coming out of New York, you was listening to. Back then, you remember that, you know what I mean? So, but once Tupac came in, kind of made me want to do the same thing, because you didn't just hear a Tupac record, you felt a Tupac.
Yes.
It wasn't what you heard, it was what you felt when you listened to it. So after I got shot and earned my scar, it was like, yeah, I want people to feel what I'm saying. So that was I was on point then.
The man himself, Rising Paradise, Tupac Shakur.
Yeah.
It seems so many people have been inspired, not just in the vocal arts, but in all types of art forms. Tupac has inspired them to create and to go on and to do something within their own creative field. And you wouldn't think. I mean, it's so sad that, his life was cut short so just like Biggie, just like so many of these people, these artists, these beings, especially like today,
Right.
they're just going this like, do you know how precious life is? They,
Nah.
they clearly don't.
Nah, it's different. And then me being locked up for so long, I saw so many younger guys coming in, and that was the main thing I used to say. I said, man, y'all don't value life and you don't value your freedom
Mm,
because you're so caught up into your image.
mm.
And then when they get behind those bars, you see you're not built like that. And you learn by the seat of your pants. You know what I mean? You get in there, it's real. You can't assimilate live action, man.
No,
And
definitely not.
once you back there, there's nobody to yell cut. There's no props. You either predator or you prey.
Mm, facts.
Yeah.
Facts. And unfortunately, people until they get, but you know what, sibling, it's experiences, isn't it? Now, if you're talking just regular and just I don't think any of these are good, but there are, especially in America, you've got different categories in regards to prisons, right?
Right.
Depending on the crimes you do. So there's different ways clearly to serve time, but it's do we need to get to the point where we've got football numbers behind our name before we actually learn the lesson? Like, okay, like it was fun. I made a little bit of money. I didn't kill or harm anybody. Maybe it's time to parlay this into something legitimate, maybe?
Yeah, see, unfortunately, once you get the football number behind your name, you're done.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So you may think that's like, that's just not how it go. You don't do both. Like a lot of these guys, waving these guns, talking about spinning the block and hitting this dude and hitting that dude. Yeah, I can't say you didn't do that, but now you're here. You're here in prison with me. You don't get a chance to do that
mm,
and still be out here rapping.
mm.
You that's that's the pipe dream. You
It
know.
it's almost like it's as you said initially, you didn't put on the rapper costume and become a gangster rapper, quote unquote, or a reality rapper. You had to have those experiences personally or very close circle wise. You would have had that influence and that understanding, that overstanding of what this happens, and you can portray that vocally in an articulate way, which makes people feel it. Now, you had what we would deem a studio gangster, and y'all know exactly what studio gangsters were. You'd be out and you'd be like, there's them busters. Okay, they're talking all this stuff, but they ain't really living it. Now it's gone like way past that now. It's like, no, 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 no. Before we even rap, we've got to have 16 bodies under our thing. We have to have ongoing walk-up because we need the content. We need to be able to flash our flipping guns into something. Like, huh?
Like, bro, that's the reason why, glory to God, my numbers are on the uptick, but slowly, right? Because gradually, but I won't feed into the foolishness. Like I'm not gonna not gonna get on my interviews and talk about beef and give you the bullshit, just to run up numbers on content. I'm gonna tell you my experiences. I tell you how I really feel about it, and it is gangster. I'm not making it up. I did 17 years and 2 months in prison on the 30. You know what I mean? I never told on anybody. I got clean paperwork all around the board. So I don't have to put on a mask or a costume for your enjoyment for clickbait. If you
Yes.
want to hear real, tune in.
Mm. That's where the lines are blurred, though, sibling. Unfortunately, with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, we can see the real, and we can, we can see the jacket. We can see you're living proof of this here. You know what I mean? Not the manicured kind of thrown together mad record companies pushing crazy amounts of money to fuel the death and destruction of our youth.
Right. That's what they want. They because why it feeds the machine. The machine spits out money.
Mm.
So your foolishness feeds the machine.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't look at the bodies left behind. The freedom that gets taken away.
Because everyone's getting paid.
They're getting paid. You know what I mean? The artist is usually not. He's just getting a bunch of clout and a few, some jewelry and $200,000, to wear on his arm, and he think he like that until he land in there with me.
This is it, and that's like maybe the second worst thing. So you got the record label creating this situation where, and they're reaping the financial rewards off the record hits, off the tours, off the merchandise, and off all of however they're making money these days. So then he goes to the penitentiary. The penitentiary is privately owned. If it's not privately owned, then there's private organized. But exactly, come on, like people aren't putting one on one and together. So then, so who's taking care of the CCTV equipment in there? Who's doing the food? That's a private organization, again, profiting off the the pain and suffering of majority of my quote unquote minority people. So then what do we get outside of that? We get the worst thing is which you are no longer on this plane of existence. So then and then before that, we have the court systems, we have the liars, aka lawyers, who are making plenty bread defending and prosecuting the same person who's made all this record label all this money. Let's say they die. Don't the record companies have insurance on these artists? Peasant insurance? Come on. It's a win-win, and then they die, and then their record sales go crazy. Like, there's something that said, if you know better, you do better, right?
Right.
But then you've also got something which is cognitive dissonance, where they know that, listen, they ain't a nigger, and I don't use profanity frequently, but they ain't a nigger that don't know right from wrong, okay? They choose this shit. It's simple. You either do good or you do bad. Now, listen, there's varying degrees. We ain't saints. You've done 17 years in the penitentiary. Like we've all done degrees of badness. We're not perfect beings, but it's a case of like waking up and saying, I ain't a 17-year-old little youth now, are you?
I'm tired. You gotta get to the point where you're like, man, hey, this right, I'm like a hamster on the wheel. I'm tired. I'm ready to switch it up. And a lot of us do. And then, unfortunately, for us is a lot of us that have switched it up and choose to do something different. We don't have the opportunities. You dig what I'm saying? Because once you get those X's on your back here, it's pretty much crap. You can barely get a place or car or whatever. You know what I mean? So, which puts you right back out there.
That's
because
the plan.
How you gonna work?
Yeah,
it's all about design, bro.
And they're making it just as difficult as you say. You come out as a convicted felon. Who's gonna give you a job? Well,
right.
Where's the job opportunity? All you've known is streets. Now, let's say you wasn't even rapping. All you know is streets, and you come out and you're trying to be an upright, person, to contribute back to society. Where's the opportunity then for someone to say, yo, come, not taking advantage of you, not exploiting you, but actually, hey, let me give you the opportunity. If you mess up, clearly you're going back to jail, sir.
They're waiting for that. Yeah. They wait for that. That's what they want because of job security.
Yes. So we
Yeah.
need to just be, as you're doing, continuing to be the beacon of light, man. Shining that
trying.
light. Yeah.
Yeah,
We see it, man.
the thing for me is, and because I'm jaded with the so-called smart youngster, hey man, follow if you want to win.
Hmm.
You know, follow my lead if you want to win. I've been where you probably going. I've done what you probably lying about, and you still can't out rap me. So follow if you want to win. So that's my thing. I ain't gonna beat it into your head. You know you want to get preached to, go to church.
This is it. The time for all that stuff is dead and gone. You drop a jewel and you leave it. Okay.
Period.
If they wanna pick up the jewel out of the soil and brush it off and say, oh, that's what Twisted was talking about. Okay. Yeah. We can do that there. But
Yeah.
like let's not, but the thing about it is, let's not be jealous kings and keep all the jewels in the crown. Have to give them out, man. We have to show and prove.
I agree.
You know. Now, you came up obviously in the South.
Right.
Baptist? Did you have a Baptist influence on the religious side?
Actually, when I was coming up, my grandmother was Jehovah's Witness, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, I spent most of my time with her, going door to door, taking brochures, you know, all of that. I didn't get into church until I was grown, for real, you know. Excuse me 1 second. So I spent most of my time, you know, going with my grandmother, Jehovah's Witness. And when I was older, I decided, you know, I started reading the Bible a little bit, you know, in and out of different jails or whatever. But it's Jesus Christ on mine now.
So you don't necessarily assign yourself a denomination, but you study the book. And
I studied. I would, because I'm not a religious person. You know, I'm more spiritual.
Yes.
Because I believe at the end of the day, God requires us to be the best we can be, because nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I think the Muslim is better than the Christian is better than the Buddha, or none of that. You know what I mean? Whoever, you're supposed to be good to people. You're supposed to be the best you could be to people.
Yes.
And that's my belief. So at the end of it, Playboy, if I die and then I go see him and he say, you know, you should have known better than what can I do? I just tried to be good, you know.
Yes, but ultimately, as you say, that's what happens in my estimation, based upon and obviously, you know, our brains are nothing to the most highest brain, etc., and concepts and ideas. But we all gotta sit up there with the Most High at some point, see if you get the opportunity, and He's gonna look through your book of life, and He's gonna be looking through there, and you're gonna have to say, yeah, well, you know, this is what you know. So most High willing, you're gonna get up there, and it's gonna be a quick flick through the thing, like, yeah, man, I saw you stumbled here, I saw you stumbled here, but I like the way you got up. I like this, come through the gates. Whereas you're gonna have other people, they ain't even gonna have no book of life to even have any kind of conversation with the Most High.
Gonna tell you, you know what you did, you know where you're going, and that's that.
Yes, simplicity.
That's it.
Yes, yeah. Totally agree. I mean, again, looking at it, he only left you basic instructions before leaving Earth.
That's what I'll take that. Yeah. That's what it's. Yeah.
See, like as you said, you don't do the religion thing. Religion, etymology of the word religio, which is Latin, restrain, bind, hold back. Does that not explain what the modern form of religion is now? Because we don't need a dude to stand up in front of us and interpret what the Most High. Because isn't it about a personal relationship with the Most High?
At the end of the day,
Now, don't get it twisted. We do need learned people, you know, to refer to. Like, look, I'm reading this Genesis part, and I'm a bit confused. What are your thoughts on it? Of course, but we're not to leave